Hey everybody, I'm Zach. And I'm Jesse. We're going to be reviewing this little handy device next on Now Let's Review. What is it?
This, my friend, is a tire inflator powered by a battery.
Ooh, where's the battery?
It's all in here. It's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, so it's a pretty big battery. And this is from LEXIN. This is their P5, and it costs $69.95.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I wanted to see how this would do on a number of devices, because not only is it meant for bikes, obviously you can use it on balls and stuff, but it's meant for motorcycles and for cars. And I was a little skeptical about the car part, so I was thinking, why don't we go out and test it out on the biggest car we have,
All right.
the Rivian R1T pickup truck, and see if it can fill a truck tire.
All right, I'll go call it up. Hello?
Okay, so we're gonna use a big boy tire here today. Test this out. First of all, I'm just gonna screw it onto the tire. We're gonna see what pressure it's reading. This is before we've taken any air out. So 46.5, I will set that as what we are going to wanna hit. Now I'm gonna let some air out. Okay, this tire is now at 19 PSI. I don't wanna go too much lower for fear of breaking the bead. And we're just going to charge it from 19 PSI to 46.5 on this enormous 27 by 65 R20 tire.
One eternity later.
Oh, dead. All right, time. It's dead. We're not up to pressure. This thing is relatively warm, not extremely warm. 19.5 minutes to not fully pump up the truck. Yeah, this is hot. The thing itself is holdable.
We let the air out of one of the tires.
Not all the way.
Not all the way, but like down to 20 PSI.
Yep.
Normally it's around 45 PSI. So then we set to work and see if this would work, and what happened?
It died. It didn't make it all the way up. It got to about 35 PSI. Now, that's a big truck tire, so that's a lot of air that it has to move in there, but it did not have the capacity to do it.
So here's the thing. Not only did it not do it, it took a long time to try and do it. And so that's what I guess I'm a little concerned about. If you're buying this for your car, then I don't think this is the product for you.
Let's talk about bikes then.
Okay, bikes, I think it's great. Check this out.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're pumping up a fat tire, e-bike tire. This is a 26 by 3 inch, so it's a fairly big tire, and it does it in seconds.
And why is that?
Well, because there's a lot less air in there and a lot less pressure.
I see. And so basically it has to move less air into the tire, and so the battery capacity works out to be pretty okay.
Yeah, so for bikes, this is great. We've also tested smaller electric bike pumps that have smaller batteries and are smaller, and you know, yeah, like this one we tested,
right?
Which is great. I mean, I like them both. This one, it just has more juice.
Yes.
There's more cells in there.
Yep.
What I don't like about it is when you go to charge this up, you can charge this up with USB-C, which is easy.
Nice.
But you get this little battery indicator, which is either green, orange, or red. And when you start using this, it'll oftentimes, even within a minute of using it, start to turn to orange. And you're like, oh no, the battery's not been charged. Well, you did just charge the battery. So it's not a very accurate battery indicator, which is very not helpful.
Well, and the other thing is you'll stop filling the tire because you're worried that you're gonna run out of juice, and then it turns green again.
Right.
What this means is that it's a very cheap battery indicator. It's just measuring the voltage of the battery. What happens whenever you turn on a light switch or anything is that there is a voltage dip in a circuit. I'm not gonna get into circuits here, but there will always be a voltage drop. This is not accounting for that voltage drop. It's just simply measuring the voltage and saying, the voltage went lower. Well, of course, it's trying to get to 100 PSI or something.
Let's talk middle ground, motorcycles.
Okay.
We tried this out on our Sondor's Metacycle and it worked great. I think motorcycles, e-bikes, and balls and stuff,
Okay.
great. Cars, trucks, I don't know. I don't think so, because I think in that use case where it's a wintry night and you ran over something and you need to, fill it back up.
Yep.
If this isn't reliable for you, then what's the point?
And you might be saying, well, can't you just be charging it while you're using it?
It won't charge it fast enough to keep up.
It definitely won't charge it fast enough to keep up with the filling.
And going back to how long it took, you're used to going to a gas station, putting that air hose up to your tire, and within a few seconds being at the pressure you want.
Right.
This doesn't do it. Now what this does do, which is nice, is you can set the pressure that you want it to go to. As we're showing you footage here, you can set it to, let's say, 20 PSI, leave it, and then a few seconds later when it hits 20 psi, it stops.
So, I mean, for a bike, it's gonna fill the bike tire in a reasonable amount of time, and you don't have to sit there babying it, being like, oh, it's reached the pressure, or you don't have to do what I have to do all the time, which is like fill the bike tire with some unknowably high pressure source, and then stop,
And check it.
fill it, check it. This might be good for topping up car tires. It's not gonna be good for refilling car tires.
Oh, another nice feature on this though, if it's dark out, it's got a little flashlight, so you can easily find what you need to find.
Okay, yeah, pretty bright. Your phone could probably do the same thing.
Oh, and it has USB-A on it so that you can charge devices from it, like your phone.
And a lot of e-bikes will allow you to charge your phone from the e-bike. You could also charge this with your e-bike. So you could have this kind of constantly plugged in, and it would always be topped up, ready to refill a tube or something like that.
So this comes off, which you might think is great. I don't think it's great. Here's why I don't think it's great. If you have this in your car and this gets lost somewhere, then this is useless. So I would recommend either taping it or like strapping it to this, or keeping it like we do, which is just keep this on there. It's a pretty good length, actually. It's not too long, not too short, so I feel like this would work for most cases.
And it'll kind of get into, on lots of e-bikes and especially e-scooters, it's a heck of a time trying to actually get the thing onto the stem.
Yeah.
So this is nice, it's a nice size.
You can buy an extender that would kind of replace this, which is a little bit longer for, I think it's $19.95, and that might be what you want to use it for. The other thing is they ship it like this, but they also have a Presta insert. So if you have Presta valves, it'll work with that as well.
If you have a fancy bike.
Right. All right, so what do you think? Is this something that you would spend $69.95 for your like everyday use?
That's a good question. Now, we did have another video where we talked about different e-bike pumps. So you can have everything from a hand pump, which will never run out of batteries, to a CO2 cartridge, which will fill up your tire in about 2 seconds flat. But of course, once you run out of cartridges, you're done. So you can go check out that video. We did review a very similar product in that, which worked really well. I think that the appeal of this product is going to be for bikes, e-bikes, scooters, maybe even motorcycles. Again, not for cars, but for the kind of person who's gonna be e-biking around and is maybe gonna be worried about a flat tire, as long as you have a tire repair kit or an extra tube, this is gonna be the thing that fills up that tire.
Yeah, I totally agree with you when it comes to e-bikes. I think this is a great addition to your little pack. But if you're thinking, oh, this would be great as a present for that person who drives a car and e-bikes, not the car. I just think you're giving yourself a false sense of security. None of us like to have that. You should get the kind of compressor that plugs into your power port in the car. That way you have air all day long.
Yes.
As long as you have power from the car. I just think that this looks like it would have enough power. I was surprised that it doesn't, because it seems like it's got plenty of batteries, but it's just not enough for most car uses.
Yep.
So there you have it, the LEXIN P5. Hope that is a good product for you. If not, let us know down below what you'd like us to review, because that's what we're here for. We're here for reviewing stuff to let you know if it'll work for your life.
Thank you so much for watching. Now let's review.